All right, we're at step 4. This is 𝗟𝗟𝗔𝗥𝗧𝗬 with Sunrise Scribbles, and I am here talking to you today about how to plan your time in a 2-week span so that you have more free time and can actually get things done, turn your ideas into reality. So as a quick recap, I just want to go through the things that we've already done together. We've already captured all of our ideas. We have planned out when they are going to happen throughout the week, and then we've organized them into a 1-week roadmap that's really going to show us every day what we need to do. Now, for some people, that's going to be enough, but for others who are super busy, you're going to love this next step. Here, you're placing decisions. You're not filling your entire day. You're deciding when you are going to be intentional with your time instead of letting other people steal it from you. This is called time blocking and is a strategy that I use and I love to plan my days, especially when I get busy. The busier I am, the more important that it is that I lean into my time block planner. If you are a traditional planner, then you're sort of planning by the hour, or you're even letting your meeting calendar dictate your day. What I would like you to do is turn that around so that you are deciding how to use your time and not letting other people decide for you. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look at what we already created for our this week, and we're going to use that to fill out our time block planner. This is what it looks like. You can see that across the left, we have times laid out, and then on the right, you have blank space to fill everything in. So I will show you how to use this just like I've shown you everything else. There's also a blank copy in case your schedule is a little bit different and you work odd hours. You can go ahead and fill that in to meet your needs. One thing that I'd like you to encourage you to do is to use a pencil, or if you're doing it on an iPad, then that's fine, you can erase easily. But if you are doing it by hand, using a pencil is really nice because you can change things and erase. I do give you 2 columns so that you can make changes if you need to, but I find that a pencil is helpful. When should you do this? In the morning is a great time. Come in every morning and take a look at your calendar and adjust. I personally like to do it on Sundays or early Monday mornings. I like to look at my entire week and sort of fill in what I think I'm going to be doing for each of those days. And then every morning I adjust as necessary. Some people do it the night before. It's really up to you. The important thing is that you are doing it. Take that 20 minutes or so to really look at your schedule and decide where your time is going to go. And understand that it's going to change. It will change throughout the day. That is the number one thing about any type of planning. The plan is the plan until it changes. So it will always change, but having it gives you a direction to go in, and it makes it much more likely that you're going to accomplish your goals. All right, so I think we already went over everything here, so let's get right into it and take a look at what we have, shall we? Okay, great. So here we have in front of us our daily plan. As you can see, it is beautifully blank, just waiting for you to fill it in. So here's how I go about it. This is really one where you have a lot of flexibility to make it your own. What we're going to do is I'm going to look and say on Monday we had a chat to do, and yeah, we're gonna host our chat. This example we've been going through probably isn't the best example because, like I said, if you don't have a ton to do, then a time block planner maybe isn't your best friend. But I'll try to make it work for you so you can see how it would work in a real situation. So you've got your date, you've got your focus for today. So the focus for today is going to be, oops, let's undo that real quick and let's just choose a, come on, there we go. We're going to say that the chat is our focus for today. We really want to be involved with our subscribers because we're a Substacker and we want to get in there and we want to talk to people. So that's what our focus for today is going to be. And if you'll remember, that was what we put on our Monday on our weekly plan. So everything is consistent. Now we have to figure out when we're going to do this. And like I said, if you've been doing this for a few weeks, it's going to come really naturally. You're going to figure out what time you want to do these things. But in the beginning, you may not know. So let's say I want to post the chat at 10 a.m. Let me see here if I can just make this a little bit smaller so it's a little easier. Okay, so at 10 a.m. I am going to post the chat. I'm going to get it out there, and then I'm going to say that I want to spend the rest of the time, no, I don't like that. I'm going to go back to my darker pen, the rest of my time interacting with my subscribers. So I'm going to say I'm going to post, and then I'm going to interact for the rest of that time frame. So that's my plan for the day. Well, what about the rest of my time now? Because I have this whole block here. And of course, this assumes that I don't have a job, which I do. So let's actually back this up. Let's do a more real world situation. Let's say you have a job, right? So you've got a job, you're busy, you know you want to focus on that chat. Well, you have to be in work at 9. You start your day at 9. So maybe you're going to use a different, you're going to use the blank schedule and pick a day that starts at 6 instead of 8. But in my example, we'll just go with it. Let's say that this person doesn't actually have to start their day till 10. So they get to sleep in. They're one of those lucky few. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to say then that I'm going to post my chat at 8 a.m. And then from 8 to 9:30, I am going to interact in my chat. So that's going to be my Substack time. But then at 9:30, I am going to drive to work. So I need to put that in there and say I'm going to drive to work. And then I look at my work calendar and I see that I've actually got the first half hour free. But the second half hour, actually starting at 10, I have a meeting, because you know that we love our meetings. So I'm going to put that I have a meeting at that time, and then I have another one from 1 to 2. So I'm just going to look at my calendar and I'm going to fill it out, and I'm going to put in all of my meetings so that I know when to avoid scheduling other things. So I'm going to say I have a meeting then. I actually have 2 back-to-backs here. And then maybe another one down here, because again, we love our meetings. So now I've got my full day. So what does this tell me? This tells me that I now have all of this time here and here. And if I work till 5, or maybe I work till 6 because I'm starting at 10, I've got all of this time available to plan other things. So this is when I'm actually going to get my work done. So now I'm going to come in and we're planning a work day. So I'm going to say, well, you know, I need to do my email. So I'm actually going to do that at the end of the day. I'm going to do that twice. I'm going to do it after my first meeting because a half hour is not going to be enough time for me. So I'm going to do email. If I can spell, I'm going to do it from 11:30. Here, we'll do. That's when we're going to do our email, and then down here I have maybe I'm a technical person, so I'm coding something, or I'm working on a project plan. So I'm going to work on that project here for this block of time. So I've got my time set out there. I also want to give myself time for lunch, so I'm going to put lunch in here. And then I've got a 3 to 3:30 block, and maybe I take a break. Haha, that would be nice, right? We'll just say it. Say we can take a break. So we'll take a break, and then the last half hour of the day, we want to close out our day. So we don't want to forget about that. So we want to close out our day here. But we also have all this time at the end of the day down here, if you're looking at that. So we have more time depending on what you do. So maybe this is when I come back to my Substack. So now I'm going to revisit, I'm going to come back to my chat. I'm going to take a break first, And then let's say 7. Let's do family time actually from 6 to 7:30 is going to be my family time. And then I'm going to go back to my subscriber chat and I'm going to interact some more because I've already planned that I'm going to work on my article a different day. So I don't actually need to squeeze the article in on this same day. And that's the beauty of having that 2-week plan level and the week plan level and then the daily plan so that you can see how they all interact and you don't have to make a decision on this day. You already know that your focus is chat. So we're going to look for opportunities within our day to make sure that we include chat. Chat is a vital component, but of course we also have to work, so we put that in and we work around our meetings. One thing that I will do with meetings is if I come in and I see that they're spread out like this, I might try to move one around to give myself a better block. This is actually not that bad a schedule because this person ended up with a couple of hours of free time to get stuff done. So that's actually a pretty good schedule. But I come in a lot and I'll have like a half hour and then a half-hour meeting and then a half-hour break and then 2 hours in a row of meetings and then a half-hour break if I'm lucky and then, and then a half hour on, a half hour off, a half hour on, a half hour off. And those are the worst because that constant context switching is just really, really hard on your brain. So when you see something like that in the morning when you're doing this planning step, this is what's going to happen here at this first thing in the morning when you arrive at work. You're going to do this planning step. You're going to make sure that you get this planner set up. Go ahead and reschedule some of those meetings. You don't have to accept the time that somebody proposed. If you can find a better time, use it. Make your meetings a block so you can get them out of the way and actually have time to focus and get things done. And then schedule your personal life, your side business, whatever you have around all of that time. But that's what's going to allow you to have more time and flexibility in your schedule. So it's a little counterintuitive, but all of this planning is going to take that weight out of your head and off of your shoulders and allow you to just then go on autopilot for 2 weeks until you hit the end. And then in another series, we'll talk about how to reflect and how to plan find out, what went right, what went wrong, and plan another 2 weeks. But for now, we're really just focused on getting this planning aspect down so that you can have a smooth 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, put your brain on autopilot and just go. Okay, so we have been through the entire 4-step process. In the next video, I'm going to recap and talk to you about how to make this a daily, weekly practice that you're consistently doing and keeping yourself on track.